All right, everybody, welcome to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, I'm so used to doing this on Wednesdays. Today's actually Thursday, November 6th, and this is episode 101. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I've been busy lately, and as I've mentioned many times, that I wasn't going to be doing the news every week anymore, only because there isn't much more to report week by week. You know, there's not much going on in a small town. And generally speaking, when I do talk about upcoming events, I mention them a month out, 3 weeks out. And usually that's good enough for everyone to put it on their calendar. Now, yesterday I did go on, released a very short update with the election results as they were in Lyndhurst for both the governor and the Board of Education and the Assembly. I wasn't able to get the county commissioner's vote. Most of these seem to pretty much go down the line. Lyndhurst was pretty much split, giving Jack Chittarelli the lead at 3,853 votes to Mikey Sherrill's 3,666 votes. So it was close. Anyway, if you missed all that and you want to hear those tallies, just go to my station and click on yesterday's short update. There's no music or anything. I just came on to report. Okay, we've got some things to get through. I'm going to talk to you also and let you know what's going to be happening with the TD Bank property on New York Avenue, which has been another open piece of property, which is keeping everybody in angst over what's going to happen there. Now, we know with the Lyndhurst Diner property that's going to be a quick check, better than having 100 apartments. But I'll tell you at the end of the show what's going to happen with the TD Bank, and it's actually a good thing. I'm very happy with it, by the way. But in the meantime, don't forget, if you have any news from your club, organization, school, sport, anything going on in town, birthdays and anniversaries of note, just send them to lyndhurstcommunitynews@gmail.com, and I will be happy to share that here with everybody. All right, we'll start off with some township events taking place. Now, I don't know if you're into collecting cards, baseball cards, sports cards, or non-sports cards, Pokemon cards, raffle cards, anything of the sort. So Lyndhurst is hosting, actually Commissioner David Mateen has put this together, along with the Parks Department, and they're proud to announce the first ever Lyndhurst Card Show. And that's going to be Sunday, November 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That will be at the Lyndhurst Recreation Center. That's the building down at the foot below in the Meadowlands of Valleybrook Avenue, 862 Valleybrook Avenue. As soon as you go down, it's right to your right. Now, this exciting community event will feature sports cards as well as non-sports cards, Pokemon cards, as I said, and more. Any collectible cards you want. There will also be raffle prizes. Now, if you're a vendor and you want to go and show off your cards and sell them, you can get a table for $65 each. Now, the admission is only $3 per person, which is very cheap, and kids under 5 are free, and all proceeds will directly support the Lyndhurst Emergency Medical Services and the recreation programs that help us to continue to serve the community. Now, if you have any questions or you want more information, call 201-804-2482. Or if you'd like to register as a vendor, you can send an email to lyndhurstcardshow@gmail.com. And don't worry, I'm going to leave that in the description box below, so you don't have to run and get a pencil and pad. All right, now that we're in November, that means it's turkey season. Gobble, gobble. We're coming up on the holiday season, and Thanksgiving actually is my favorite holiday because it's very laid back. It's food and family and friends without all the hustle and bustle of running around and buying gifts. I'm not against gifts, but I think everybody I've spoken to agrees that Thanksgiving's a much more laid back and relaxed holiday. But anyway, Mayor Jan Giarrusso is excited to announce that the Our Town's Turkeys Turkey Drawing Contest is going to be happening again and is happening right now. This fun and festive event invites students in collaboration with Lyndhurst schools from pre-K through the 5th grade in order to showcase their creativity by designing their own unique turkey artwork. Now, this is open to all Lyndhurst students in pre-K through the 5th grade, and students are encouraged to use their imagination and creativity. Now, prizes will be awarded to winning entries, And drawings will be proudly displayed at the Lyndhurst Town Hall. So if your child or grandchild's picture, sketch of a turkey is picked, it will be hanging at the Lyndhurst Town Hall. Now, the deadline for submitting drawings are Monday, November 17th. So let's celebrate the Thanksgiving spirit and showcase the artistic talents of our young residents. Don't forget, the deadline is Monday, November 17th, 3 p.m. at the mayor's office in the town hall. Now, this is important for any Lyndhurst residents who have lost their food assistance effective November 1st. Don't forget, the Township of Lyndhurst has a food bank, and the word was put out last week to bring in for donations as much food as possible. And, of course, a lot of food came in. And if you'd like to donate food, don't bring it to the Lyndhurst Food Bank because that's overflowing. Bring it to the Parks Department because that's where it's going to be stored until we can bring it to the food bank. But if you're in need, just call or stop on in or call first just to make sure the food bank is open. You can call 201-804-2500. So whether you need the food or you'd like to donate the food, donate it at the Parks Department and come down to the food bank in the Health Department on Stuyvesant Avenue if you need assistance during this time. All right, by the way, so there's a new newsletter that the township has put out there. It's called Lyndhurst News. Now, it is not affiliated with what I do here. I have nothing to do with it. As soon as I saw the name Lyndhurst News, I said, the people are going to think that that's an extension of this. It is not. The township is doing this. So this will keep you up. I think it's great. I've read through it. It tells you everything that's going on in the township. It's a great go-to source for the latest updates, announcements, and important happenings. Now, I'll leave the link in the description box so you can click on that. That will bring you directly to the Lyndhurst News, Lyndhurst Township newsletter. But it's online, and you could access a lot of great information there. Now, this Tuesday coming up is Veterans Day, and we invite everybody to come and join in the Veterans Day ceremonies, and that is held at the Veterans Park on the corner of Delafield Avenue and New York Avenue, where the wreath is laid each year, and the members of the Lyndhurst High School Chorale will be available to sing, and it's a short presentation, but it's important that we remember on Veterans Day, that is the day we thank veterans and remember them for their service. Whereas Memorial Day is the day we remember those who gave of their lives in defense of this country. And, of course, Armed Services Day is the day we thank those who are currently actively serving in the military. So I think it's important. It's a very brief ceremony, and if you're around, please come. And, in fact, Tom Witt and I will be singing God Bless America at the end. So if you want to hear that, that should be funny. But anyway, come on down to Delafield Avenue, New York Avenue. It begins at 11 o'clock. And, of course, it's always on the 11th of November. So we'll see you there, hopefully. All right, the Lyndhurst Music Association is having a Tricky Tray fundraiser called Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Join them for a whimsical evening inspired by the magic of Oz, complete with exciting prizes, music, and community fun, all in support of the Lyndhurst Music Association. So again, that's Saturday, November 15th, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The doors will open at 6:30. Bring your own refreshments, by the way, and this will be held at the Lyndhurst Senior Center, which is at 250 Cleveland Avenue at the end of the street, right by the Parks Department, 250 Cleveland Avenue in Lyndhurst. There will be a special performance by the talented Lyndhurst High School Jazz Band. Now, admission is $30 a person. With that, you get one sheet of level 1 tickets, coffee, tea, and dessert. Now, this is for adults only. You must be 18 years or older to attend. You cannot get admission sales at the door. It's cash payments only. Name and check-in will be required at arrival. So now here's what you could do. You can text 201-403-1966 for payment details or questions. And I will, again, leave that number in the description box below the video. 201-403-1966. Okay, and this is in from Pastor Martha Day of the Lyndhurst Presbyterian Church on Saturday, November 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The United Presbyterian Church of Lyndhurst, which is located at 511 Ridge Road on the corner of Page and Ridge, they're holding their annual Holiday Bazaar and Craft Sale. So come on down and find lots of handmade items, Christmas ornaments, baby blankets and sweaters, candles, jewelry, homemade cakes, cookies, jams, gluten-free desserts, a white elephant table, thrift shop, and so much more. Lots of goodies and gifts for the upcoming holidays and an amazing group of vendors. You could also get free pictures with Santa Claus from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's a grab-and-go lunch beginning at 11:30 a.m. Come do your holiday shopping, buy lunch to go, and enjoy. And, of course, all are welcome. For more information, you can call the church office at 201-939-7920. You could also check them out on Facebook. And, again, I'll leave that number in the description box. Okay, now, of course, as the days get shorter, the temperatures grow colder. And as it gets colder, it gets very cold for those who are homeless. And as a result, the Lyndhurst Girl Scouts are collecting socks for the homeless. So let's help keep our homeless neighbors warm this winter. We don't have any homeless in Lyndhurst, to my knowledge. But, of course, there are homeless in many of the surrounding areas, especially in Newark. So up until November 21st, the Girl Scouts are accepting new adult socks, and your donation and support make a huge difference, and they call it Knock Knock, Give a Sock, providing socks for those in need. So the drop-off locations are as follows. You can drop them off at either the Libby Lindsay Little House, which is at 238 Livingston Avenue, or, more apropos too, the Lyndhurst Pastry Shop, because if you're going to go there, which almost everybody does, you can drop them off there as well, and we all know that that's at 256 Ridge Road. So for more information, you can also send a text to 973-220-2164. That will be in the description box below. Okay, the Tunnels to Towers will be coming down Ridge Road again on November 17th at 1 p.m. It's a big bus. It's the mobile museum that will be back here, and the truck will proceed south, where a flag draping ceremony will be held by the Lyndhurst North Arlington firefighters. That will be in the area of Holy Cross Cemetery. There'll be a second flag draping at Washington Avenue in Kearney, and the Kearney-Harrison Fire Departments, as well as East Newark Fire Department, are working on getting the antique fire truck to the event on Belgrove Drive. We'll find out if that's actually going to happen. After the arrival, setup begins, which should take approximately 2.5 hours, provided that they get a team of qualified volunteers to assemble the stairs, the ramp, and to help to move the artifacts into the placement on the truck. The opening ceremonies will start at 6:30 sharp, where Kearney Police Honor Guard then they're going to have the opening prayer, the Star-Spangled Banner, and Mr. DeCorso, our superintendent, as well as Mr. Nystrom, who is the wonderful individual from Kearney, who arranges this every year, as well as area and local dignitaries. So if you want to come and visit the bus, it'll be there in Kearney, but also if you want to watch the bus as it comes down Ridge Road, that'll be November 17th at 1 p.m., and we'll be coming down with quite a great deal of fanfare. It is going to be escorted by the Nam Knights motorcycles and possibly the Elks motorcycles riders. So that should be exciting. Be on the lookout for that, folks. Tunnels to Towers is a wonderful organization doing great things to help any first line of duty people who lose their lives. They pay off mortgages for the families. They come to them and help them in their time of need. It's a great organization. Please consider supporting them. All right. I feel like the nightly news, when everybody tunes in for one story, and they know which story you're tuning in for. So what do? They leave it for the end. So I think it's always important that people know what's going on in their township. But anyway, so last week the planning board heard an application on the TD Bank property. Now, remember, as I've always told you, that all these big tracts of land, as well as any tract of land with an old building on it, could very conceivably become the site of another apartment building. And due to the affordable housing laws, Lyndhurst, as well as every other town and municipality, cannot say no. All we can do is try to negotiate with them to do fewer units than what they propose. Now, we know the Vivo property. We lost that case in the county. That's going to be, I think, 30 units. That's going to be right on Valley Brook Avenue, unfortunately. We know that the Lyndhurst Diner property is now going to be a quick check, thankfully, rather than 100 units, which it easily could have been. Now, the TD Bank property could have easily have been an application for 60 apartments. Luckily, the developer grew up in Lyndhurst, loves this town, wants to keep it the nice small town that it is, although that's becoming increasingly more difficult to do. So the township approved an application for 6 two-family houses. So that's what's going to be going on the TD Bank property. No apartments, but 6 two-family houses. And by the way, isn't it amazing? Who would have thought that we'd see the day where brand new two-family houses in this town are listing for anywhere from $1.2 million to $1.4 million? That's incredible. It's mind-boggling. I know the homes are totally priced out for most younger people. So generally, the people who are buying these homes are coming from either New York, and I think we're going to see a lot of people coming from New York now. And again, which is only going to help real estate in this area, but unfortunately for younger people, they just can't get into these houses, not at these numbers. So that's what's going to happen. Let your friends and neighbors know. 6 two-family homes being developed by a gentleman who grew up in Lyndhurst. He lives in Rutherford now, but I'm very, very happy with that, as everyone should be, because anything that is not apartments, to me, is a good thing. We have enough traffic as it is. You can't even get down Ridge Road certain hours of the day. You're better off walking than driving. So let everybody know about that. So that's the story on the TD Bank property. We'll see what comes next, and as I always tell you, when I find out any information about any developments taking place, I will let you know. Now, part of what I want to do with this show moving forward is, like I said, I used to do it once a week. I'd like to focus and do some more interviews with the community people. I would also like to go and do spotlights on more businesses. I just have to find the time, make the time, and do it. And also, Joe Cafone, I was going to read a whole bunch of stuff that he's recently released on Facebook regarding Lyndhurst history. If you haven't seen it, check it out in Vintage Lyndhurst. As well as several of the Lyndhurst groups. He posts in many of them. Joe's our definitive, official historian who wrote the book My Lyndhurst, and it's phenomenal and available on Amazon. So anyway, that's the wrong song. Hold on here. We need the Honeymooners. Hold on here. Hold on. All right. There we go. That's our ending music. Okay, folks, don't forget, check those smoke detectors of yours and CO2 detectors. Make sure those batteries work. They save lives. Don't forget to support our volunteers in town, volunteer firemen, volunteer EMT, and get to know your neighbors. Remember, this is a great community. Let's keep it that way. It's not the houses. It's not the roads. It's not the buildings. It's the people. Get to know your neighbors. Look in on your elderly neighbors, and let's keep Lyndhurst the wonderful community it is. Until next time, this is Brian Haggerty saying God bless you and God bless our township. Take care, folks.